Okay, everybody. Again, this is Ryan Ellis at the National Weather Service. We'll get started with our weekly impact weather briefing for Central North Carolina, covering the period of Tuesday this week through Sunday, September 4th through 9th. We hope you had a great Labor Day holiday, and we'll jump right into it here. And as far as our weather is concerned, pretty non-impactful through much of the week. You'll notice the big high pressure over North Carolina and the mid-Atlantic states. That has been entrenched for a while and will continue to remain there through much of this week. And you can see, especially in the midweek image here, what effect that is having on North Carolina weather. As you can see, everybody around us is wet, not so much here in North Carolina. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to get some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. We've had some pop-up activity over the last few days. That is likely to continue, mostly driven by instability and buoyancy in the atmosphere. So that will continue to occur, but in general, depending on where you are, it might be completely dry one day, you get a pop-up shower the next day, but that's about it. Now, as we head to the late week time period, you can see there is a cold front that does try to approach from the north, and the current thinking on this is that it will not actually make it here. It's probably going to move in and affect the weather across the northern portions of the state, and so some increase in shower and thunderstorm activity for the late week. But as far as the front actually crossing the area and maybe cooling it down a little, that's probably not going to happen. It's probably just going to wash out. So the upshot of that is that we will see continued high temperatures in and around 90 degrees, maybe backing off by late week into the upper 80s, but certainly above normal for this time of year. For those wondering, normal for today is actually 86 degrees at the Raleigh-Durham airport. So we've been running well above that for some time now. Into the weekend, more of the same, high pressure over the area, maybe a front to the north as that front tries to lift back out of here. And but not much going on as far as the weather is concerned here. So looking at the Storm Prediction Center severe weather outlook, we're just in general thunder for the next several days. And maybe if you're in the northeastern part of the state, not even that. So that's where where that high pressure will be centered. So we'll keep our eye on that. That influences the rainfall, of course, and you can see certainly in the early part of the week, not much at all. And then again, maybe a little bit more by the Saturday and Sunday time frame. But you can see that bubble there that we seem to be under. And if you look down across the Gulf, you can see what is the rain swath from Gordon that will be occurring. And then across the north, across the Ohio Valley there, a frontal system kind of bringing that area into play. But again, for us, not much at all. So as we move towards talking about the tropics here, one of the questions we've got in the chat was, what impact will either Tropical Storm or Hurricane Gordon have on North Carolina? And it is not much, if at all. Again, it may get sucked up into that frontal system. We may see a little bit of that late in the week. But you can see here from the graphic that once it moves on shore, it's going to go northwest up into the Louisiana, Arkansas area, and then the remnants will get pulled back towards the Great Lakes. So that's good news for us here. Now, looking back out into the Atlantic further, we do have now Hurricane Florence out there. I'll update the title here. But Hurricane Florence is out there. Big spread in the models. We can't, speculate as to where it's going to go, but we do see more of those models recurving, and the thinking here is that may be the case. Certainly bears watching. We're several days out on this, so we'll keep our eye on it. But right now, it looks like the recurving track is starting to be the favored one. and especially if that frontal system across the north we were just talking about before moves on out to sea, that'll help to push that away. So don't expect much here, but this is a good chance to, the tropics are becoming more active, so start paying attention. We want to message these things carefully, and we're in that stage now where we're getting into the peak of the hurricane season, which is September 10th. So we want to advise people that to make sure their hurricane preparedness kits are fully stocked. We all kind of we have them at the beginning of the season and there's a big ramp up, but then things happen throughout the year. Maybe you've taken your water supply and gone to the beach with it or something like that. So you just want to make sure everything is stocked up now. And then, pay attention to the forecasts as we move along here, as we get into the peak of hurricane season. As far as this graphic is concerned, this is of course, the cone. And we just want to, kind of stress again that this cone is based on previous hurricane track error. And so what you see here, the actual position of the hurricane at those times will fall within the cone roughly 2/3 of the time. The other third of the time, it could fall outside that cone. So try not to focus on the cone so much. And then, certainly, realize that the impacts of the storm are often much wider, much greater than the cone itself. So if we back up and look at the whole Atlantic, you get a good sense of where these storms are. Obviously, Gordon's about to move onshore. Florence is out there, way out there around 40 west. And we go even further east towards Africa. There's another potential area of development out there. So we will keep an eye on that through the week. Looking ahead 2 weeks out, the warm weather continues and well above normal temperatures expected. Keep in mind, September is kind of a transition month for us here. So as we go into the fall here, our normal temperatures start dropping off pretty rapidly. So for instance, looking at statistics today for July, the entire month of July, the normal high temperature is 90 degrees. However, in September, that varies as much as 10 degrees. So by the end of the month, we're only supposed to be normal highs of 77 degrees. So, if we keep seeing temperatures close to 90, we're going to be well above normal for the next couple weeks here. Precipitation-wise, maybe a little bit above normal. As we look at maybe a wetter pattern across the eastern part of the country. So quick summary here, above normal temperatures. Again, normal is about 86 degrees. Afternoon showers and thunderstorms, nothing severe really expected. Maybe the occasional isolated severe storm, but certainly not any widespread severe activity. Tropics, of course, becoming more active. And you can find information. I want to make a little plug for our new tropical page here. That first link there is our tropical page, and you can take a look at it, and you can see which storms are active. You can get our local social media feeds on there, things like that. So there's a lot of good stuff to look at there. Check that out. And then, of course, the old standby is the Hurricane Center page at nhc.noaa.gov. If you have any other questions, put them in the question box. Otherwise, hope you have a great week, and we will see you again next week.